All right, welcome to Unleash the Potential. Tony Voce TA Hockey here. We are excited. It was a beast summer. We had a lot of fun this summer. I think we started out with, we'll see what kind of happens here, and all of a sudden it exploded. And it was pretty exciting. So what how about for you? How did you feel from the boys to everything that kind of happened?
Yeah, so I think same thing. Like when we were going into the summer, it was kind of what do we have going? Who's going to come? How are we going to figure out how many ice slots we get? What are we going to work on? Are we working on skills? Are we working on small area? Are we working on conditioning? And I think we let the boys give us some feedback on the on-ice piece, especially with where they were, because sometimes you punish them in the gym in a good way, but so they
get a little sad.
Yeah, they get a little upset about that. But no, I think overall it went really well. We ended up with 3 groups. Our older group, which was NHL guys, USHL guys, a handful of NA players, Division I guys in that group, and then second group was our D3 guys with some of our 06s, our 07s, all high-end quality players on the ice. And then our younger group was our 09s, our 10s, our 11s, sprinkling an 07 in there. But again, all high-end players that are trying to make it to play Division I college hockey at some point. So it was a blast for us, for Jeff and I on the ice. It was a blast, and and the kids worked hard, and I think everybody who showed up every day is ready to get going in the season.
I'm going to tell you, already kind of checking in like with the different guys from whether it's the college tryouts, right, to the NA tryouts, to all the guys looking to make the final cuts on it. They've been doing great, which is awesome, and they're just excited. It's funny. One guy I was talking to, he's like, dude, I know I was bitching about wearing the hoodie, but like my coach right now has had us out in the sun just doing sprints, and he was like, I'm gonna look at he was like, I was gonna say to my coach, yo, should I throw a hoodie on right now, or while everyone else is dying? And it's just great. But no, I think it's funny. And just to kind of step back too, I think it's interesting when you're setting up, because last year we did we did a test run of the on ice program with the off ice piece, and it's funny. This year it was just like, all right, we're gonna commit to ice, we're gonna do all this different stuff, and building up those little pieces. And this is the stuff that people don't realize, that yes, we're on the ice and we're trying to make sure that we're figuring out what's the best way to develop the players. But they don't realize there's like a whole other part that we're dealing with, right? And it was really fun, man. I think that the development piece was a lot of fun, where like we didn't know, right, who's gonna actually commit to the ice piece, and I think it turned out like those 3 groups that you were kind of talking about, like they were extremely competitive, and there was a lot of value being brought from it. So I think that was I know for me, like, why I didn't get to be on the ice with you guys as much as I would have liked, except for that one last scrimmage at the end of the year. With my new skates, my first shift, I felt like I was falling all over the place, and that's the one thing.
We'll get video of that one.
Thanks, Tim. But yeah, man, no, it was. I know, like, those pieces were really. It's been an exciting summer.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, we had just kids coming in. So like, yeah, we had our regular guys, but we had, a kid who's a 5th year at Northern Michigan stay here for the summer and train with us. We had a kid that was at BK that's playing in Rochester come and stay and skate with us for a couple weeks. And so like we're adding, not only are we getting our local guys, we're starting to add pieces and kids from outside of our area that want to come and train and want to be on the ice. And the feedback from those guys is amazing.
Yeah.
And they want to come back next year, which the value of the off-ice and on-ice piece and being in the same building and getting your workout in, getting on the ice, or getting on the ice and getting your workout in is valuable. And there's a reason why, in my opinion, kids make it and kids don't.
Right.
And if you want to make it, you got to be willing to do stuff that other people are not willing to do.
Right.
I don't know. I posted something on Kobe yesterday. Kobe Bryant's a machine, but he just talks about being able to put yourself in situations where you're going to exhaustion,
Right.
not just going through the motions.
Right.
And he was pretty good, I think, that guy, right?
He was okay.
Kobe Bryant guy.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good.
Wasn't too bad.
I mean, if he's saying it, like, I mean, he's obviously not here anymore, but he worked so hard to put himself in a position where he
the
was
Mambo.
yeah, Mamba
persona,
mentality,
yeah.
right? Like, he has a school, he has a community-based gym and everything else. So, and it is hard to make it to Division One, to Division Three, to pro, and you have to give up and sacrifice a lot to get there. You got to have some luck along the way, right? You got to not get injured. You got to hope someone likes you. You got all that stuff that's going on. So, that's really important to guide the process, and for you and I to make sure that we're working together to make sure that we're getting and putting the kids in the right situations.
Well, I think that's a big part that many people miss is that. So I was talking to someone and they were like, "So tell me about this because they mentioned a different program that's out there." And, they were like, "Yeah, like tell me what's the difference between you and this program?" And I'm like, honestly, the biggest difference between like the way we try to do the things here is that it's a cohesive unit. So like, yes, you go to a hospital, right? You have, you go from like the family doctor, then you go to like a specialist, and you go to this person, that person. But the problem is things get lost in the cracks, right? Like they're all very good at their jobs, right? They may all be very good at their jobs, but if each person doesn't spend time talking with each other, understand, like if I, like me not understanding your style, you not understanding my style, then we can't bring the most value for that person.
For sure.
And I think that's the biggest part that people miss is like in a program, are you in a cohesive program or what's happening? I think that's where, like you were talking about with the commitment piece of it, when you come in, like these guys are coming in Monday through Friday, right? Just like they could be on the beach. And I talk about this, when we were with the other guys the other week, but like, I just think it's such an important part for people to understand is like everyone says, right? Because we work with a lot of kids that are growing up, right? For 8, 9, 10-year-olds and that. And they say, from that age, it's like, I want to go play D1. At 16, kids are like, I want to go play D1. I want to go play in the NHL. And it's like, all right, are you doing the things that you should be doing? Or the things that these guys are doing? Or where are you at? And I think that's one of the things that, I love the guys in our program because they're committed, man. Like they just put in the effort. Like, listen, we have a lot of crying sometimes, but like at the same but I'm still gonna do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, and I do think there is, as a parent, when we talk about an 8-year-old versus a 16-year-old versus a pro, an 8-year-old is developing, so our development piece for him is going to be different than it is for a 16-year-old than it is for a pro. Pro guys, when you look at their life and what they do, even Division I guys, like Division I guys are still going to school, but pros practice, treatment, go home and relax,
Right.
watch TV at night, play a game.
Right.
Like, so their treatment and their recovery is way different than an 8-year-old and even a 16-year-old because these two groups are still in school.
Right.
So to be on the ice and in the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week is not beneficial to an 8-year-old versus and a 16-year-old in the same piece. Like, you still have school, your brain's functioning. So yes, getting in the gym 3 times a week.
Hopefully it's functioning.
Maybe, yeah. Some kids are. But getting in the gym 3 times a week and get on the ice an extra touch or two is beneficial, but too much is not a good thing as well.
Yeah.
And we gotta, but as parents and even as coaches, like, oh, the more ice, the more gym. Like,
Right.
yeah, that's awesome, and we want that. But at the same time, like, there's got to be a
What's the program? What are
right.
you
Like,
actually
what are we doing and
Yes.
why? What are we doing? What's the program and why are we doing it?
Yeah.
And that's why you pay people to put your kids in situations and come up with plans and programs to
Right.
make sure that they're getting what they need for the right reasons at the right time and the right age appropriate stuff. And I think that's where the value is in the gym, right? You're not going to have a 16-year-old trying to squat 900 pounds, because it doesn't make sense.
I'm not even going to joke about that. Yeah, that is
Right.
not.
No, you're just not doing that,
Yeah.
right? Because it's not beneficial to the kid at that time.
Right.
So, and I think that's where what we're doing now is we're looking every day, like, okay, if they're if they get skated hard on the ice, I got to be a little bit more cautious in the gym. If they get buried in the gym a little bit, where they got to do some cardio and they got to get on the bike, then on the ice we're going to do more skill stuff and more development work versus a conditioning skate. So, but our communication, as you were saying, that's why we're communicating. That's why I truly believe that these kids, I'm telling you, the kids that are here every day on the ice.
Committed.
I can't wait to see their season. I'm excited to see them. I can't wait to see them. I know they're going to have big years. The kids that did it last year had their best years ever, and the kids that are bought in this year. And I got a text message from one of our guys. That's a D1 guy, and he's like, I got 22 pull-ups, second best on the team. I bench pressed, whatever, 22 times. I don't know the exact number. It was like 185 or whatever it was. But he was here every day. Yeah. So, like you put in the work, you're going to get results from it. But he was here every day and committed every day, which is why, again, he's probably going to have a good year. If he doesn't have a good year, that's okay too.
Right.
You're going to fail at some point. You're not. Everything's not going to be perfect. And failure just means like, okay, what do I have to fix? But there are probably smaller details than it was if you didn't show up every day. Right. So the importance of that is amazing, and why I can't wait for our guys to travel and see them play. I'd like, starting yesterday, right? We watched some of our boys yesterday play, and it was, they had good games. They played well. They didn't look out of place. They were ready to go. So, that was nice.
Yeah, it's funny. The other day I was, so I'm setting up the schedule to at least see one game of all the guys live, because I can't watch live Barn. I can't on TV.
I live off of that.
I can't, man. It just, for me, honestly, like the whole ADD kind of goes off. Like, if I'm watching a game, I just, someone over here starts talking to me, and I'm just like, oh, he's not on the ice right now. I missed the goal. Damn.
And you can't rewind it. Yeah.
Right.
Rewind.
But that's but I was really excited because I got, set up the thing. So, so like you said, it's gonna be exciting to kind of see the guys, like everything they put the work into, right? To see what happens from there. It's funny. There's a couple guys that, because it kind of come back to what you were saying a little earlier on the intensity side, on just being in the gym, doing all the different things, and if there's not a program around it, then more intensity doesn't necessarily mean get better. And I think that's one thing that is really important to kind of touch on here, because one guy specifically this summer, every other summer these past couple of years, this guy would be, like, once school ended, he'd be here, and he'd be here not just for the workout and the skates. He'd do like 3 skates a day, and then it would be an hour before the gym. He'd be in there doing a whole bunch of work, do the actual workout, and then another hour of work afterwards. To some people, it's like, wow, he's really dedicated. And honestly, for me, this year, he changed it up a little bit, where he wasn't doing the extra stuff on that side. He actually took 3 weeks off throughout the summer, like randomly going to, he went to one place, he went to another place, and I'm just like, I'm nervous. I'm like, yo, did he lose his desire, that fire to get better? And then I saw him on the ice not too long ago, and I'm just like, he looks good.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I think that's, I think there's also, diminishing return, right? The law of diminishing. So, like, you need to find that balance. And I think this comes back to the younger guys, too. Like, I feel like I hear so many guys talking about, I'm skating here, I'm skating there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm in the gym here, I'm in the gym there. I'm doing so many things. But are the coaches cohesively working together? Or is it that you're just trying to put in as much intensity as possible to continue to develop, but the programs don't fit, right? Like, the puzzle pieces are just different puzzles.
That makes a big difference. It's a big difference, right?
So,
it's a huge difference.
But I think that's going to be the interesting part, is that, I think I'm curious to see how, because there's a few different guys that have kind of adjusted that method with them. Because it's funny, like, no matter how much we say to them, yo, like, I know you talked about this pretty much every single guy when they just got back from school, from juniors, whatever, and you're like, yo, 2 to 3 weeks at least, you're not allowed. Like, I don't want to see you anywhere near the drink.
Yeah, get out. You need a break.
Right.
Your body needs a break. You need rest. You need recovery. And again, going, when I say 5 days a week, 6 days a week, it's doing, like, that doesn't mean you're lifting heavy every day. That might mean stretching. That might mean rolling your legs out with either a roller or some type of piece, one of the sticks to roll your legs, or it's going to one of our clients as a NHL goalie, and he loves to go to the body labs for rehabs, to get cold tubs and hot tubs. Like, that's part of training. That's to me, that's part of
taking care of your body.
Right. Like, that's part of doing what you do, and yes, but that all costs money as well, right? So we got to be very efficient with making decisions on our travel schedule, especially summertime, right? You see, I can tell you, the younger kids especially, they're going to Vegas, and they're going to Canada, and they're going to this place, and Boston, and Nashville, and Florida, and it's like every weekend they're going somewhere, but that's probably not most beneficial for your kid.
Right.
Pick a couple.
Right.
But you don't have to do every one and travel or and it's, again, when they're 8 years old, go on vacations and have a family, enjoy that. Like, you don't need to play hockey every weekend at that age. As you get older, that diminishes a little. As you get older and your goal is to play college hockey, I don't care, Division I, Division III, D1 club, D3 club, whatever it is, you still have to have the fire first, but you're changing. Your program's going to change from 8 to 10 to 12 to 14 to 16 to even 18-year-olds are still, they're still even our junior guys that aren't in school.
Right.
Now they're a little different, right? They get like that gap year where everyone's like, what is I talk to normal people, and by normal people I just mean not a hockey.
Let's be real. We're not normal.
Yeah, like I just mean not a hockey family, and you tell them like, oh yeah, this kid's gonna just skip a year of school and like he's gonna go play hockey. And they're like, what? Like, what are you talking about? But that's, in our world, that's normal, because that's what's expected of you to. And again, it's about they're developing during that year. It's not like they're not doing anything. They're playing in pretty good leagues probably at that point and getting better. And a lot of kids do take online classes to get in classes in, but it's a long process, and you've got to enjoy some of that summer fun.
I think it's funny. Hockey's the one sport, like you said, the normal people, the non-hockey people. I think that's the easier way to say it. Because some of those,
there's other sports that are just as wild. So,
right. Yeah. But usually, right, like you end high school, right? Most people, what they don't know is you end high school, and in every other sport you go to college, right? And you play D1 there and whatever for most other sports. In hockey, it's you end, and then you have, for most guys, it's 2 years of that junior mentality where, like you said, you might be taking some classes, but like pretty much your job is to play hockey, right? For 2 years before you actually go to the school you're going to go to. And it's funny because I'll tell like new trainers coming on that I'm talking to that haven't been in the hockey world, like I talk about this and just like, so they like lose 2 years. I'm like, dude, I think one of the parts that people just misunderstand about playing a sport growing up in general is that you what you learn from like you mentioned failure earlier. Yes, you might mess up, you might have something that happens, but when it comes down to it, you learn how to deal with the trials and tribulations of life, right? Like, it just comes down to like there's gonna be bad stuff that happens, and when that stuff happens, are you gonna be a victim, or are you gonna be like, all right, what do I need to do to get better? And I think that's one of the things that people talk about. Like, they're like, yeah, well, all that money you spend on hockey, why don't you just save it for a scholarship or save it for like school, because you can just put that money away. Yeah, but then the kid is sitting at home playing video games or out just messing around with his friends, and just like, what development from a discipline standpoint, work ethic, right? Like, deal with all that. You're missing so much.
Yeah, like take just getting a job, right? You get out of school, you graduate from college, or even if you don't go to college, like, and you do want to do a trade, you have a boss and you have a team that you work with. And I think one thing that I've loved and know about hockey is that, if you're not all pulling in the same direction, you're probably not winning a lot of games.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to win a national championship, and I was fortunate enough to win a Calder Cup championship, and two
You won
different
the championship this year too, didn't you?
Oh yeah, check for charity. Let's go, boys. That's all we do is win championships in this place. You know? But and even take that, like we had NHL guys in a charity tournament, and Division I guys in a charity tournament, and they had the old guy on the team. But
the old guy scored some points though.
But we're in the game, and they don't want to lose, right? It's just the competition takes over. It was a charity event, technically, and the competition, like guys, when you're elite and you're an athlete, you don't want to lose. So, you know, you're striving to get that. But going back to what my original point was, it is awesome to see the team aspect, because you're gonna have to learn that in life, and if you don't know how to work hard, you're probably not making it in hockey or life.
Right.
And compete's a big piece that, like, I was on a call with my business partner on my other business stuff, but our conversation was the two things that we feel give the kid the best chance are compete level is number one. Because if you're not competing, you have no chance of making it. Zero. If you're not, that is the number one thing when we watch games. And then skating is probably number two. And then third is hockey sense. So they're the three biggest as a scout when we're watching games. Does he compete? Can he skate? Because if you can't skate, you're probably not playing. And then can he think the game at a high level? So is he in the right spots? Is he making the right decisions? You're not going to make the right play every time. You know, might get tipped, it might whatever. But if your thought process is right, that's what we want to see. And then, you know, going back to the team aspect, being a good teammate, talking to each other, not yelling at your teammates. You know, all that goes a long way, and they're all intangibles. Skating is the only thing that you can see, right? It's, you know, like, compete is intangible. Hockey IQ is an intangible. Being a good teammate is an intangible, right? The only thing that we can visually see is the skating part. So you get one out of the four top things are actually something you can see. The rest is intangibles, and you know, the guys that scout at the NHL level and the college, like, they want D1 teams or D3 schools, when they're talking, they're like, what type of kid is he? Does he compete? You know, is he a good teammate? Can he help us out? Like, we want good guys here. Like, they want good guys. Because good character guys, again, lead to winning championships. Because everyone's then pulling in the same direction. You know, one of my favorite one is so the year we won the national championship, Father Tony Penna was our priest there at school there, and he gave a speech our first game of the year, and it was about getting in a rowboat. Right. So, or sorry, not a rowboat, a wheelbarrow. So, guys walking across Niagara Falls in a wheelbarrow, back and forth. Everyone's going crazy. Wow, hey, this is awesome, right? Does it again, walks across Niagara Falls on a wire with a wheelbarrow. So he turned to somebody and said, you want to get in? I'm not getting. Well, you just cheered me. You said I was the greatest person in the world. Like, are you going to buy into, if you think that I'm amazing, get in the world, go with me. And, you know, that was our motto for the year. We carried a little wheelbarrow around with us, and it was stuck in it. You know, everywhere we went, it was on the board, right? So, like, are we getting in and being together? Because it's a fear. That's fear. Right? Going to, obviously, Niagara Falls is a far drop. But, like, just the analogy of buying into that, like, you might cheer me on, but, like, are you getting in to do what we need to do to win games? And again, we might not win every game. You know, we might have lost that year. Like, but the analogy of just getting in and buying in and doing what you got to do, and I think that's in my opinion, I think the youth coaches, because they're working, it's not their full-time job, right? So they can't commit to what you need to commit to coaching at the highest level, right? The highest guys, that's their job. They get paid a lot of money to do it. Where the youth coaches don't have that time. So as parents, we get mad at coaches because they're not doing the right things, but also they're dads. They're working a full-time job. You know, we don't take any of that into effect, right? But we need to, because that's part of. They're not professionals. They're doing it to help your kid get better the best they can.
Like, you also look at hockey as, like, at those ages also, it's like, hopefully they're still playing because they love the game and they're having fun.
Man, you gotta love the game when you're older too.
Yeah, well, no, 100%, right? But like when you're older, there's a at least you realize that this is if you're going to continue to go at a high level and you're going to compete and you're going to like all the things that you're going to commit to time wise, it becomes a job, right? And hopefully, I think that's the one part that
Definitely becomes a job.
Right, but that's the thing. It's just like all summer instead of being on the beach, you're doing. And I think that's where I think when it comes to the kids, it's sometimes I see some of these younger guys and I'm like, yo, just have some fun, man. Like it was funny. Like the other day, I was around a bunch of young guys, and they're all talking about like, yeah, well, I'm gonna be drafted in this round, which is cool, right? Like you want the kids to
You gotta have some dream.
Yeah, 100%. But like, yo, just enjoy the journey. Like the journey is like you can't get that back, right? Because whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen when you get to the end of your journey. But like, have some fun, just enjoying like. Yo, dude, I scored 5 goals yesterday. I embarrassed that team by myself. Forget about my team. I did it myself, right? And it's like, enjoy it. It's okay to have fun, like especially when you're like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? I'm sure every coach right now that's listening is like, nah, that's not the way to go.
I don't know. I saw some pretty cool stats the other day, like amateur stats. But Leon Draisaitl had and I'm gonna mess the numbers up, but I think he played like 29 games and had like 70 goals and 160 some points. And then there was a stat where Wayne Gretzky's Adam year playing hockey had, say he played in, what I call it 80 games, and I don't have the numbers correct, but he had like 316 goals and 500 something points in 80 games as a Adam, right? Like, and it's like, well, okay, like that's amazing.
That's
right?
insane.
Like, that's insane.
Nuts,
But it was I saw like it was Steven Stamkos had crazy numbers, Gretzky had crazy numbers, Crosby had crazy numbers at Shattuck St. Mary's where he went to. Who else was on there? There was a couple other ones that was just like Zach Parise was on there. Like he had just ridiculous numbers. And numbers aren't everything,
right?
Obviously, like again, there's intangibles, but obviously numbers help. Scoring goals helps. Like getting assists, getting points, goalies making saves,
right?
Helps, right? It helps win games and it helps you play longer,
right?
But it was, the stat was unbelievable.
That's nuts.
Can
you imagine
516 points in 80? It was like 80 games. It might have been
think
60
about being
games,
the other side, right? Think about like knowing you're playing against this team, and you're like,
right.
dude, this is gonna be an awful day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna touch the puck because this guy is gonna have the puck the whole game.
Something really cool. So Connor Bedard, first overall. So I got something sent to me the other day. So at the Brick tournament,
Yeah.
there's clips of Connor Bedard. Well, I'm going to use names here because I have to, but because they skate with us. Chris Pelosi on the ice against them.
Right.
Nick Fascia on the ice against them. Josh Player on the ice against them. Ryan Bunting on the ice against them.
Right.
Who else works here that is in that 05 age group there? I'm missing a I think that might be the only ones from that actually skate with us here, but on the ice at 10 years old, whatever, against Connor Bedard, who's this little guy just wheeling around, just sniping goals everywhere, and then he goes first overall, but that's, again, memories, right? You gotta go back to just points, and this kid's tearing it up at that age. It's like, okay, he's special, right? Like, there's kids who are special,
right? That
just Gretzky, and like the names I said, and then, but it's just cool for our kids be like, yeah, I played against him.
Right.
Chris obviously got drafted his own rate this year, so that is cool for what we're doing, right? It's like we want to see kids develop and get better, and hopefully we get more kids drafted as we get going. And we got, Ross has obviously trained with you for how many years he's been with you? 8 years now. So
2018.
Yeah. So we got guys that are now starting to make it, right? And then but. Go back to the very first thing we talked about. There's a program and a plan in place that they follow on a regular basis to put themselves in that position to succeed. And I think that's the most important piece is plan, program, execution. Plan, program, execution.
And I think that's the part that I know we keep touching on this, and it's just parents, like, they need, like, even from a young age, right? It's like you said, just doing like the gym nonstop and ice stuff nonstop and the game, and like there needs to be some kind of plan, unless you're just playing for fun.
Right.
If you're just playing for fun, listen, man, do whatever you want to do. But if you're telling me you want to go to the next level, you need to make sure there's a program in place. And I think that's one of the most fun things that, so many guys have said is just, you come in, right? There's, whether you're in the gym first or you're on the ice first, it's, all right, I'm doing this, right? Then I'm doing that. And then whatever else I need to do around the day, I'm throwing that stuff in there.
Yeah.
But all the coaches, just one cohesive unit, just having a good old time.
Yeah.
Because I know, I'm going to tell you, man, like, my favorite is when, because obviously there's the other sides of this too, but my favorite is when I go to Tony and I'm like, Tony, how are the guys on the ice today? Dude, all they did was complain about how you just messed them up today. The whole time. They just complained about this, they complained about that. And it's funny because from the other side of it, like, you come up and you're like, so what did they take a last the skate over here? Dude, they complain about this, they complain about that. I'm just like, damn, man. Like, all they do is complain. I wonder if there's sometimes. But to our faces, right, it's like, dude, this was great, man. This was great. Yeah. But Key is an asshole. Tony, asshole.
It is great. But, yeah, like, you know. True, like, they do complain, but they're here.
No,
and you know what? They do complain, but they show up every day.
Yeah, no,
and that's the good thing, right? Like, they want to be here. They want to make this.
I'm gonna call this one out. This one I'm definitely gonna call out. Mikey, dude, Mikey.
Oh, see, Mikey. He's got you.
Mikey, like, committed. Like, he worked so hard this summer. He was showing up to the extra yoga sessions. He was showing up to every service that we were offering. He was hitting everything. And it's funny, at the banquet, he got last year he got the
I can't believe he's picking on you, Mike.
I have to. Mikey, it's a must. But he got the sellout award. So this year he comes in because he left, right? Because he left. It was at Michigan. Remember that? So he got that, and he's just like, Key. So this year he came back, and with all the work that he put in, he got the comeback player of the award or whatever.
Put in work this summer.
He worked hard, but it's funny. As I'm about to give the award, I catch him complaining about something at the table here, something about this over there, and I'm just like, dude, why do you have to make this so hard for me? Why? I love you, Mikey. I do. All right.
I think Tony. In my opinion, Tony's my biggest complainer. He's the oldest guy we have. He's the biggest complainer we have.
But I think that's just his personality in general, right? Like, it's just, and he does it with a smile. Which
he's there. He's not even mad. He's hilarious, actually.
It really is.
But yeah, you know what? Like, I think this summer, if we wrap this up here, like, this summer was, in my opinion, it was way better than we thought.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
It was fun. I think, again, the kids that showed up every day developed. They got stronger in the gym. They got faster in the gym. Their skills got better on the ice. They learned some different pieces on how to, because we did small area games, so
right.
They learned how to defend, and we stopped and we taught. We didn't just let them, we taught them little details, using your stick, using your body to put guys in different spots. And, does it help? Like, yeah, it definitely helps, right? Because we're learning, I'm learning every day, because I watch tons of video. I'm sure I see the videos you guys post of trying different exercises and different things that are going to explosiveness and power and speed. And so you guys are working on stuff, and Jeff and I are going and
it's innovating. It's
and we're working and we're watching stuff. We might see a video and be like, oh, that's cool, but if we add this or we take this out and do this, like, again, just making the kids' brains have to think on the ice, continually think, because the game is never the same. You never shoot the puck in the same spot. You never I don't know. I'm a huge Steph Curry guy now because I think he's just an amazing shooter and basketball player in mind. And, he talks about just, you never, ever, ever take the same shot ever.
Yeah.
Different spot, different feet, different catching, different whatever. Same in hockey. You're catching different spots, forehand, backhand. You might be going fast one time, slow one time. You might have to take a one-timer. It might be a bad pass, so you have to take a one-timer. So, like, we try to work on that on the ice of not being perfect, because the game's not perfect. So, but this summer was awesome. I same thing. I'm going to go watch. I probably watch not all of them, but say I get to at least 90% of games this year. Some guys I'll get to see more, obviously, and I think going into next year, like, I do think we're going to have more guys coming in for these week to 2 week spans of coming in, training with us, getting on the ice, and for us that's awesome. The more guys that come in and want to get better and be great,
and I think that's the environment, right? The culture and the environment that like we want guys that are coming in and want to get better, not babysitting. It's not babysitting. But to finish this up though, and real quick, I mean, there's not one guy that I would say that didn't work their butt off this summer, right?
Oh, yeah.
But who are your standouts? Who are like a couple guys that like right off the top of your head, like without even like who flashes and why? Doesn't have to be anything long.
It's tough. It's different things. Like so, I think guys improve for different reasons. So, like I'll take Corey Owens, right? Corey was here,
worked his ass off
every day, like doing
journal, warm-ups, everything.
Like on the ice, he just worked hard. He never complained about where he was at, what group he was in, why he was in it. He just came and worked, and he made the, he's going to school. He made his team, he was super pumped up. So like, you get a guy like him who loves the game and loves to put in the work, and I think that is awesome because he texts you, he texts me, he texts Jeff. Like he was so pumped up. So, it was awesome. I'm so happy for him. I think he's going to have a good year and enjoy being there. I'm glad he left the spot that he left, and I think he'll be in he's going to put himself in a really good position to just have a good year and enjoy hockey. He's put in the work. So he's definitely the one that comes, just different mindset, right, than some of the other guys. So that was awesome. Let's see.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, Corey's just unbelievable, man. He's one guy that there was not one complaint. Not one complaint. Take notes, Mikey. All right, that's the last one, I swear. Andrew Centrella was last week's pick on. This week is Mikey. But Tone, glad that we had this little talk here. We'll keep it going.
Yeah, look out. We're going to have some bunch of stuff coming up. We got some fall stuff coming up. We're going to have we'll have some weekend clinics coming up once we get some ice time. We got the gym stuff going on. That's going to start probably next week.
Starts next week, yeah. Well, actually, it never ended.
Well, yeah, it doesn't really end. But, for some kids, like the season starts next. This is like tomorrow, like tomorrow. You were saying all the junior guys are out, and I think tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, there was a tournament, and then this weekend there's this is it. This is the start of the season, and it's exciting time. I think as starting new teams, right? Yep. No matter what level it is, you're on a new team. Yep. You'll never have the same ever in your life have the same group of players on your team ever year to year. It does not happen. There's always, I don't care if it's one kid added or 10. Right. In hockey, it's ever changing. We're always trying to, you're either trying to get to a better place to put yourself in a good position, or you're coming down to a lower place because you want to have more fun and enjoy hockey, which is what it's about, right? So, I'm really looking forward to the season, to get our younger guys to seeing them this year have good years, and it's a fun time.
It's exciting, man.
It's hockey season finally. Let's go.